Germany has accused Russia of espionage. This comes after Russia reportedly leaked an audio clip of high-ranking German military officials. The generals were heard talking about supplying weapons to Ukraine. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has launched an investigation into the audio leak. Former US President Donald Trump won the primaries in the states of Michigan, Missouri, and Idaho this weekend. In Michigan, it was a clean sweep for Trump as he beat Nikki Haley in all 13 districts. Trump has now secured 244 delegates, which is almost 200 more than Haley. Meanwhile, Nikki Haley handed Donald Trump his first loss in the primaries. Haley won the Republican presidential face-off in the American capital of Washington, D.C. Her win comes just ahead of Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday is when 15 states and one territory in the U.S. conduct primaries on the same day. The U.S. military carried out its first humanitarian aid airdrop into Gaza yesterday. Almost 38,000 meals were parachuted into the Gaza Strip. Jordanian forces also took part in the operation. The airdrops took place over southwestern Gaza. The American and South Korean militaries have started joint military drills today. The military exercise will be conducted over a span of 10 days. It will include live-fire drills by troops and tanks along with joint air patrols. Meanwhile, North Korea has called the drills a rehearsal for nuclear war. Meanwhile, South Korea's health ministry says they will start taking legal action against striking doctors. Government officials say they've begun the process of suspending the licenses of almost 7,000 trainee doctors. The licenses of the physicians will reportedly be suspended for 3 months. Meanwhile, thousands of South Korean doctors carried out a mass rally against the government's legal action. India and Japan have begun joint military drills. The exercise is being held in the Indian state of Rajasthan. The armies of both nations are undertaking desert operations and counter-terrorism drills. The 2-week-long exercise will end on the 9th of March. Shehbaz Sharif has been elected Pakistan's Prime Minister for a second term. Sharif secured 201 parliamentary votes to secure his position. Soon after becoming the Prime Minister, Sharif delivered his maiden speech. He raked up the issue of Kashmir and the suffering of the Palestinian people. Australia hosted leaders from Southeast Asia for a special ASEAN summit. Leaders from the Philippines, Malaysia, Cambodia and Thailand arrived in Melbourne for talks. The South Asian bloc met to discuss the ongoing turmoil in Myanmar. Meanwhile, Australia has promised to invest over $41 million for security in Southeast Asia. This would be done over a span of the next 4 years. Kenya and Haiti have signed a security agreement. This will allow Kenya to deploy almost 1,000 police officials in Haiti as part of a UN-backed project. The agreement comes amid rising gang violence in the Caribbean nation of Haiti. Haiti first requested help in 2022 but could not find support from the international community. Meanwhile, armed groups attacked 2 central prisons in Haiti's capital city of Port-au-Prince. Officials say that almost 4,000 inmates escaped after the attack. Haiti's government has declared a state of emergency. Officials have also enforced a nighttime curfew for civilians. France will hold a final vote on including abortion as a right in its constitution. The proposal requires a 2/3 majority to pass. The bill was put forward in France's National Assembly by the country's far-left political party. If it passes, this will be the first time in the world that the right to abortion is included in a constitution. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Italian counterpart Giorgia Meloni cancelled a joint event yesterday. The 2 leaders were to visit the Art Gallery of Ontario in the Canadian city of Toronto. The pro-Palestinian and anti-Trudeau group blocked the gallery's entrance in protest. When the Canadian police failed to remove the protesting groups, Trudeau and Meloni were forced to cancel their event. At least 36 people have been killed in rain-related incidents across Pakistan in the past 4 days. This includes 30 people who died in the northwestern province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Meanwhile, floods damaged around 700 houses in the southwestern province of Balochistan. Bolivia's armed forces have been delivering food and medical aid to residents in northern Bolivia's Pando region. This comes after heavy rains triggered severe floods in the province. The country declared a state of emergency after the Acre River overflowed last week. Bolivia's weather department says rainfall in February surpassed historic levels in the country. Heavy rains and storms have caused flash floods in the city of Piura in northern Peru. Several streams overflowed in the city, causing muddy water to flood homes. Authorities said that more than 50 families lost their homes to gushing waters. These storms also left several communities isolated and numerous crops were destroyed. In the US, a massive blizzard has battered the western states of California and Nevada. It has shut major roads and left 16,000 residents without power. The snowstorm is especially severe in the Sierra Nevada mountain range in California. Authorities have also issued an avalanche warning. American forecasters say that the snowstorm could continue to batter the two states till tomorrow. Meanwhile, the largest wildfire in the history of the U.S. state of Texas has been raging for a week. It has destroyed as many as 500 structures in the state. The fire has also killed at least 2 people and thousands of cattle. Officials say that they've managed to contain only 15% of the fire. The raging wildfires in Roraima state in northern Brazil are threatening the Amazon's Yanomami land, which is the largest indigenous territory in Brazil. According to local authorities, at least 251 fires have been recorded on Yanomami land this year. This has brought more suffering to the indigenous community of 35,000 people who are already facing a humanitarian crisis due to illegal mining on their land. Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema has declared the country's devastating drought a national emergency. He said 84 of Zambia's 116 districts have been experiencing dry conditions. The drought has destroyed about 1 million hectares of the country's staple maize crop. Recently, the southern African nation was also hit by a cholera outbreak that killed more than 400 people. On to business and tech news. Saudi Arabia, Russia and several other oil-producing nations have extended production cuts till mid-2024. These production cuts were first announced in 2023 by the Organization of Oil-Producing Countries known as OPEC+. OPEC+ countries are collectively reducing their daily production of petroleum by 2.2 million barrels. The move aims to boost oil prices in the international market by reducing supply. In recent years, OPEC+ countries have been worried about the lagging oil demand amid geopolitical tensions. Japan's stock market index, the Nikkei 225, has crossed the 40,000 mark for the first time. The Nikkei index rose around 1% to reach an all-time high of 40,300 in today's trading session. This comes after the Japanese index overtook its previous record high in February. Tech firms have been the main driver of this latest market surge. Japan's tech firm shares including Renesas, Advantest and Tokyo Electron saw significant gains in the market today. Meanwhile, Japan's Fair Trade Commission is reportedly planning to issue a warning to automaker Nissan Motors. This comes after Nissan unilaterally reduced payments to over 30 contract manufacturers. The Japanese regulator has found that the firm deducted a few percentage points from pre-agreed payments after manufacturers delivered their goods. Nissan allegedly underpaid the companies by $20 million. More than $28 billion in loans have been approved by local Chinese banks for various property development projects. This is according to China's housing ministry. These loans are part of China's so-called whitelist project. The scheme aims to provide financial support to struggling real estate developments. So far, over 6,000 projects have been included in the scheme. Spanish banking giant Santander is reportedly laying off around 320 workers in the US. This represents around 2.7% of the bank's total workforce in the country. Layoffs will mainly impact employees in Santander's US retail division. The move comes amid Santander's push to digitize its overall operations. The U.S. departmental store chain Macy's has received a $6.6 billion takeover offer. The acquisition bid has been jointly submitted by investment firms Ark House Management and Brigade Capital. In January, the investment firms offered $5.8 billion to acquire Macy's. However, that was rejected by the retailer, which deemed the offer as too low. Automaker Toyota is set to announce an investment worth over $2 billion in Brazil. This is according to the country's vice president, Geraldo Alckmin. Alckmin says that the investment is expected to create around 2,000 jobs in Brazil. Several other car makers have announced billions of dollars worth of investments in the South American nation as well. This includes companies like Volkswagen, General Motors and Hyundai. At Indian edtech firm Byju's has not processed its employee salaries. This is because the firm's cash reserves have been frozen by a tribunal. The tribunal's order came after a petition was filed against Byju's by a group of investors. They accused founder Baiju Ravindran of oppression and mismanagement. Ravindran has accused the investors of stooping to a heartless level for withholding employee salaries. Tech firms will now have to seek permission before launching an artificial intelligence product in India. India's IT Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar has also said that the firms will have to label their products as under testing if they are error-prone. This comes after social media users pointed out controversial responses from Google's AI chatbot Gemini. Banks in New Zealand have been mandated to report any major cyber incidents within 72 hours. The rule was introduced by the country's central bank, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, yesterday. Under the new rules, big banks will also have to inform the central bank about all cyber incidents every 6 months. Moving to sports. In cricket, Team India clinched the top spot in the ICC World Test Rankings table. This happened after Australia won against New Zealand in the recent Wellington Test. This helped India dethrone New Zealand with their points percentage. India have 62 points in 8 matches, while the Black Caps have 36 from 5 matches. Chennai Super Kings have suffered a blow ahead of their Indian Premier League or IPL commencement this month. Their opener, Devon Conway, has been ruled out for the first leg of the tournament. New Zealand's cricket board has said that he has been sidelined with an injury. Conway will be out of action for at least 8 weeks. In football, Manchester City beat arch-rivals Manchester United 3-1 yesterday. Marcus Rashford's early goal gave United the lead. Phil Foden then scored 2 goals in the second half as City dominated the Manchester derby. After the win, Man City coach Pep Guardiola said that Foden is the best player in the Premier League. Real Madrid held Valencia to a 2-2 draw in yesterday's La Liga match. Hugo Duro's header gave Valencia the lead in the 27th minute. The hosts added another goal just 3 minutes later via Roman Yaremchuk, but Vinicius Jr. scored a vital double to help Real Madrid equalize. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said that the body is opposed to the idea of blue cards. Blue cards would allow referees to send players off for 10 minutes for dissent or committing fouls. Infantino said that there will not be any blue cards used at the elite level. He said that the topic was non-existent for FIFA. In tennis, Rafael Nadal lost his comeback match upon returning from an injury yesterday. The 22-time Grand Slam champion played in an unofficial event called the Netflix Slam in the American city of Las Vegas. The Spaniard lost to world number 2 and compatriot Carlos Alcaraz 3-6, 6-4, 14-12. However, Nadal showed no signs of the injury related to his hip. Third seed Alex de Minaur successfully defended his title at the Mexican Open. He stormed to a 6-4, 6-4 victory over Casper Ruud in the final. Australia's de Minaur is also the first player to win back-to-back titles in the Mexico Open since 2012. The victory has also propelled him into the top 10 of the world tennis rankings. In basketball, NBA superstar LeBron James has become the first player to score 40,000 points. The LA Lakers forward earned this milestone in his 21st season. James described the accomplishment as bittersweet because it came in a match which the Lakers lost to the Denver Nuggets. In Formula One, it was a comfortable victory for Red Bull at the season opener. Max Verstappen stamped his authority yet again by winning the Bahrain Grand Prix. He started from the front of the grid and dominated throughout the race. Meanwhile, his teammate Sergio Perez finished second, with Ferrari's Carlos Sainz finishing third. Meanwhile, the controversy surrounding the Red Bull team principal Christian Horner continues. Max Verstappen's father has publicly called for Horner to be removed from his role. Verstappen's father warned that Red Bull is in danger of being torn apart. Red Bull issued a statement denying any such issues within the team. In entertainment news, singer Ray owned the 2024 Brit Awards with 6 wins. She received awards in categories such as Artist of the Year and Songwriter of the Year. Miley Cyrus's Flowers won the International Song of the Year award. Dua Lipa was declared the winner of the Pop Act of the Year. The Last Dinner Party took home the award for Brit's Rising Star. Meanwhile, on the performance front, the Brit Awards 2024 kick-started with a performance by Dua Lipa. She sang her new single, Training Season. This was followed by Ellie Goulding and Calvin Harris's performance of the song Miracle. The band Jungle owned the stage with their pop soul track Back on 74. The Crunchyroll Anime Awards took place in Japan's Tokyo City. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 won the Anime of the Year award along with winning 10 other categories. The Best Film Prize was given to the anime blockbuster Suzume. The Best Anime Song award was taken home by Idol for Oshinoko. The ceremony saw the attendance of several celebrities like Megan Thee Stallion, Parasite filmmaker Bong Joon-ho, and Indian actor Rashmika Mandanna. Singer Taylor Swift gave her Singapore fans a treat with a special song. She performed a song from her upcoming album, The Tortured Poets Department. The song, titled The Black Dog, is the bonus track from the album. Swift's performance in Singapore is a part of her Eras tour. South Korean singer V announced the release date of his upcoming single. The song, titled Friends, will release on the 15th of March. The track, which is in English, will reportedly revolve around relatable and witty romance. The BTS band singer V is currently serving his mandatory military duty. According to reports, Israel's public broadcaster plans to change the lyrics of their song October Rain, which they sent for the Eurovision competition. The lyrics have a reference to Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. Eurovision barred the song for breaking the rules of political neutrality. Dune 2 has collected over $178 million in its opening weekend. The film, starring Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, has earned over $81 million at just the US box office. The movie is the sequel to Dune Part 1, which released in 2021. The story has been adapted from Frank Herbert's 1965 novel of the same name. The premiere of Kung Fu Panda 4 was held in the American city of Los Angeles. The event was attended by actors like Jack Black, Awkwafina, Ke Huy Quan, and Ronnie Chang. The film will follow the journey of Po the Panda becoming the spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. The film will hit theaters on the 8th of March. Actor Jonathan Majors attended the 7th annual ASFCA Special Achievement Awards luncheon in Los Angeles. He walked the red carpet with actor and model Megan Good. This was his first public appearance after being convicted of reckless assault and harassment. The actor's sentencing is due in April. A wax statue of singer Justin Bieber was installed at the Madame Tussauds Museum in Hollywood City. The installation was in honor of the singer's 30th birthday. The statue replicates his neck tattoos and iconic puffer jacket. Madame Tussauds has also organized a birthday party for Bieber.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.